Yeah, I finally did it. Gave this beast its first truck wash. Boy, it needed it. Yes, I got it done at what we commonly refer to as the Streak and Beacon. But it looks pretty good. I'm not much of a chrome guy, so you won't see me out here polishing this thing. That's just me. Yeah, I even own a Harley Davidson. I think I had it for 24 years and I think I've chromed it 4 times since I've owned it. I do wash it, but I'm not much of a polisher. Yeah, and that's bad on my part, I know. Looks good. All right, it's currently about 102 degrees out here, so let's get inside where it's nice and cool. Well, as you see from the title, in it is, was it worth it? Well, the truck wash was worth it, that's for sure. But now what I'm referring to is getting your own authority. Well, just bear with me here. Let me tell you my experience of getting my own authority, and then you'll understand where my answer comes from at the end of the video. Got my truck, ordered my truck last June of last year. Told me it was going to be built in December, wasn't. Then they told me it was going to be built in February, wasn't. And it was built in March. Finally picked it up on April. Well, they told me I had to come pick it up right away because the day after they received it, they started getting offers to buy it. So I had to go pick it up, and then I had to get truck insurance in order to get the truck off the lot. So I did all that. Well, during that time, I called, when I got the truck on the lot, I called ATBS to get my LLC. And he goes, well, we need to get you an EIN number as well. And I said, well, I've got an EIN number from when I was an owner-operator previously. And they said, no. They said, that's for a sole proprietor. You had to get one associated with your LLC. I'm like, well, okay. Well, that took 4 weeks. Well, then when I got my EIN number, I sent it to, and during that 4 weeks, I had called OOIDA, talked to him for about 10, 15 minutes on the phone. They really didn't go over a whole lot. But ATBS told me to call JJ Keller, so I called JJ Keller, and I was on the phone with them for like 30, 35 minutes. They were so thorough with everything on what you got to do, what you got to prepare for, and everything. So I thought, well, okay, I'll go with JJ Keller. Well, lo and behold, JJ Keller is twice as expensive as OOIDA, but I thought, well, they were more thorough, they were more explaining things, and they had other services to offer. So I thought, well, okay, let's go with JJ Keller. So I paid twice as much money, got JJ Keller to do it. And I got them my EIN number, my insurance and all that. They got started on my authority. Well, they said, once I receive my EIN number, give it to them, and then they'll get my authority. So I got my EIN number on a Friday afternoon late. So I emailed it to JJ Keller so they'd have it first thing Monday morning. And that Monday afternoon, I had my DOT number, my MC number, PIN number to get on the FMCS website, the whole 9 yards. And then about a half hour after they emailed me Monday afternoon, they called me and said, now be prepared. All this information's public through the FMCSA. You're going to get text messages, phone calls, emails. He goes, they're all third party wanting to sell you stuff. You can answer them if you want, talk to them. If not, just leave them be. So he was right. Next day I got 12 text messages and 12 phone calls, all on Tuesday, and I don't know how many emails. Well, I'm still getting them today, but not near as bad. But he also said, okay, now give all this information to your insurance agent, and she'll get it all sent to the FMCSA, because the FMCSA needs to see you have insurance. And so I did that. I sent it all to my agent. About an hour or so later, I called her. She said, yep, she got it all sent in. She said, but it's going to take 20 to 25 business days for them to review it and approve it. I'm like, well, all right. Well, during that time, I started going through the hassle of getting my plate in my home state of Montana. Now, I won't go through the costs and the hassles I had to go through to get that, because I'm sure other states are different. Probably all states are different. So that took some time. Well, then when I finally got the plate, it took about a week or two. When I finally got the plate, I contacted Oregon. And Oregon says, well, you need to register with the Secretary of State. And I go, well, I did that with the state of Montana. And they said, no, you got to register with the state of Oregon as a foreign business entity. And I'm like, well, foreign? Well, that don't sound right. She goes, yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's under a foreign business entity. So I got a hold of the Secretary of State. Well, lo and behold, you have to have a physical address in the state of Oregon. I'm like, I don't have a physical address. I don't live in Oregon. And they said, well, you don't have to live there. Just if you have a friend or a relative, let's use their address. And I said, man, I don't know anybody in Oregon. They said, well, you can get a registered agent and use their address, but they'll charge you. I said, all right. So I looked online. Yeah, sure, they're $200-$300 a year. And I'm like, no, what the heck? Finally did some more searching, found a registered agent for $35 a year. And I thought, well, $35 a year is cheaper than a post office box. So I did that. It's just an address. I just needed an address. It's not like I ever go there or get mail there or anything like that. So I did all that. Paid the Secretary of State their money, paid the registered agent their money, got back with compliance, started going through that process to get compliance to the state of Oregon. Well, went through that hassle, and they told me I had to put up a $2,000 bond. I'm like, what? $2,000 bond? They said, yeah, if you're in good standing for a year, they give you that money back with interest. I'm like, well, all right. So did that, and now, I ain't gonna see that money for until next year, but what can you do, right? So I did all that, and then trying to get on with then Ashley, who I'm getting set up with. Normally you have to wait 6 months for your authority for them to take you, unless they hire from within the company. Well, I was already a company driver with them. So, it used to be Wilson, then Ashley. So they said, yeah, they'll waive that. And they sent me to this RMIS website. And I got to fill out and input all my insurance information on all that. Well, one of the questions was, is your truck California CARB compliant? I go, well, it's brand new, so yeah, it should be. So I hit yes, and then it asked me for the engine family name. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What the heck is that? So I called them, and they said, yeah, they said, the website's pretty straightforward, but that's the one question they always get. There's a sticker on your engine. It'll say engine fam, or engine family name, whatever. And it's a series of numbers and letters. So I did that, went back to the website, uploaded that. And once I filled out all that information, I got that CARB certificate 30 seconds later, if that. So I saved it into my laptop, printed it out, and then I, uploaded it to went back to the RMIS website, which they knock you out after a certain amount of time. So I had to go back and fill it all out again. Uploaded that, got all that in. And then it's just a matter of time then, getting the fuel card from Ashley, which I get a huge fuel discount with them. That's the reason why I'm going to stay with them. Now, I'm not beholden to Ashley. I got my own authority, my own trucking company and everything now. But a lot of brokers won't touch you unless you've got, 6 months authority. There are brokers out there they'll start you out, brand new authority and everything. But I'm like, yeah, you're kind of limited. So I'll stick with Ashley for 6 months. And after that, we'll see how it goes. If I'm happy there and I'm making money here, then I'll stay. If not, then, I'll look around. But I want to get the 6 months in, get my time in first. And so during this process, though, I asked JJ Keller, I go, is getting this authority worth it? I mean, it was a hassle. It took me 3 months. 3 months to get everything from day one, from the time I drove the truck off the lot to the time I was ready to go, or to pick up my first load. 3 months. Now, mind you, I'm making truck payments, insurance payments. It's a good thing I had money saved up in the savings account. I'm telling you, it ate it up. But, so during this process, I asked JJ Keller, I go, is this worth it? He kind of chuckled, and he goes, he gets asked that all the time. And he goes, yeah, the initial process is burdensome. It's a pain in the butt. Everybody wonders if it's going to be worth it. But once you get past the initial, all you have to do is worry about your renewals. Your UCR renewal, your cab carb certificate renewal, license, cab card renewal, license plate, IFTA renewal, all that stuff, which is, pretty much straightforward. Everybody pretty much knows about that stuff. But so he goes, just be patient. And once you get going, you'll be, So I've been driving now for 2.5 weeks. Well, 3 weeks. It'll be 3 weeks tomorrow, actually. And is it worth getting your own authority? I'm still up in the air on that. I'm just, got going, though. But in 6 months, I'll let you know if it was worth it or not. Like I say, it's just starting out brand new. So far, things are going good since I started driving. Been making pretty good money over here at Ashley. Not really driving that hard either. I'll go into more detail later on once I'm start running the more truck lanes, more loads, different shippers and receivers. I'll keep you up to date on that stuff. Oh, and with JJ Keller, another reason why I went with them is they offer your driver qualification services. I thought this was weird. I had to fill out an application on myself and hand it to myself. You believe that nonsense? I filled out an app. It's not like I'm going to fill out the application, give it to myself, and look at it and go, I don't know, this guy looks kind of shady. I don't know if I should hire him. Yeah, like that's going to happen. But anyway, I had to fill out an application, get all that stuff. And one of their other services was setting you up with the clearinghouse drug and alcohol testing. So I signed up for that. And I thought, well, I'm signing up for services with JJ Keller. I might as well get their ELD. Now, their ELD I'm having a little bit of issue with. Been working with them on it. Still a little early in the game on that. I mean, it is working. I did get my first annual inspection last week in Hagen, Montana. It scales at exit, mile marker 16 on I-90. And I went pulling in there, and the guy goes, the DOT officer says, "You have no score." I go, I know, it's brand new authority. I knew it was just a matter of time before I got pulled in. He chuckled and goes, well, let's go out and give you a level 1. Oh, yeah, I did a level 1. Passed it, no violations. So everything's looking good. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of a score now. And I got my pre-pass. It's finally starting to work now. I got a green light here in San Antonio, California. It was open. I got the green light. Happy about that. But it's just a matter of time now, figuring out what's going to be happening. So was it worth it? Still too early to tell. I'll let you guys know as time goes. Definitely 6 months from now, January, February, I'll let you know if it was worth it or not. And I just got my truck clean for the first time. It's been 4 weeks since I put that lettering on, so I had to wait. Got it clean, nice and clean now. Yeah, I got it done at the Blue Beacon, which is, here at Wheeler Ridge, California. As we know, commonly referred to as the Streaking Beacon, and there's a reason why. But at least it's clean now. It's 101 degrees out there right now. Yeah, it's hot. So air conditioning in the truck works awesome. Man, I get cold in here driving down the road, even at 100-some degrees. It gets cold. Came through Redding, 109. I actually had to turn my fan down on my AC because I was getting cold. So I'm happy about that. So everything's working good. Everything's working fine. Oh, one other thing. My very first run, left Missoula, Montana. Drove 3.5 hours. First time. Get over Spokane. I didn't get 1. I didn't get 2. I got 3 rock chips in my windshield already. One of them's, it's way up in the right corner, but it doesn't look pretty. So next month when I take a week off, I'm going to get that windshield replaced, because when it gets cold, it's going to happen. It's going to get cold. I'll put the defroster on, and they'll start cracking like crazy. So I'll have to get that done. Unbelievable. But, all right, well, that's all the biggest update I got for you for now. So I'll keep you up to date what's going on, and we'll see what's happening. And so next time I see you, we'll be on the flip-flop. All right? Catch you on the flip-flop.